Congratulations
Yeah,
to
don't be mean. Yeah.
Jonathan Majors and Nelly.
Nelly.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't want nobody else to get the broad, so they walked down the aisle with it. That's all marriage is. When you don't want nobody else, you'll be like, you know what?
So, two marriages that people didn't know they were married, or now they do. Of course, Meg. Moving on. So, two marriages that people didn't know that they were married. Jonathan Majors and Megan Good are actually married.
They married.
They got married.
How about that?
And I haven't seen the movie yet. I went to go see it. It was sold out, so I ended up seeing Alto Nights, which was super good too. That's the new Robert De Niro movie where he plays both gangsters because he said he could not come up with another person.
Who?
Robert De Niro.
He played what gangsters?
What's the name of the movie, D?
Alton.
I did get a chance to see Jonathan Majors' newest movie, Magazine Dreams. If I had to say anything about it, I would say Jonathan's a very talented actor, but unfortunately, the script falls apart at points, and they try to throw a lot of psychological, I want to call it what we call it in the business, but it might not be appropriate for YouTube. But it seems self-indulgent at times, you know, and people were definitely having a visceral response to it. They were definitely coming out of it feeling some type of way. As far as the internet's comments go and, you know, seeing comments about it. But I would say as a professional looking at it, it wasn't a perfect film. And it probably would have done better when it came out. But I was just looking at how they were throwing the kitchen sink at everything. Every possible tearjerker moment or, you know, creepy moment or whatever to really drive the point home about the story. And I think they lost the actual mission of the story. Plus, as a fan of Taxi Driver, you know, that being one of my favorite films, starring, just like she's talking about, Robert De Niro, I noticed the similarities in it. And I'm like, do we need another taxi driver, a less effective taxi driver in the world of bodybuilding? You know, it just seemed a little odd to me, but go check it out for yourself. I still suggest you all support the movie because there's a lot of other stuff we watch out here. Like I'm hearing about Alto Nights that might not be the best, but you know, it's important to support people that you want to see continue on in the business.
Nights.
Okay.
It's about an old social club.
Is that on?
It's in the theaters.
Oh, it's in the theater. Man, what you finna show me, man? I'm scared to look at this.
Go see that Jonathan Majors movie because everybody's not. I wanted to see it. It was sold out. Anyway, and the other marriage, really quick, is Nelly and Ashanti. They got married apparently last winter, and he was just on an interview, and he said that he married her. But what's funny is I think people are taking it wrong. He may have worded it wrong, but he said he didn't want her to be a baby mama. So. People will give you flack for anything, so they were giving him flack for that. Like, oh, so you married her just because you didn't really want to be.
Congratulations to
yeah, don't be mean. Yeah,
Jonathan Majors and Nelly.
Nelly.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't want nobody else to get the broad, so they walked down the aisle with it. That's all marriage is. When you don't want nobody else, you'll be like, you know what? That's what marriage is. When you don't want nobody else to smash a woman, you'll be like, okay, come on.
Oh, wow.
That's all marriage is.
Damn.
It lasts a few years. At the while, you'll be like, I should have let them have you.
That's funny as hell.
I should have let them have you. That's all marriage is when you just really don't want nobody else to touch her.
And still end up sometimes somebody touching her.
No, that's kind of fun.
That might be one of the truest forms of love, actually. But marriage is when you don't want nobody else to put their hands on her. That's why you did it.
That's too damn much.
If ain't nobody married you, that means don't nobody give a fuck what happened to your That's the truth. Think about that. If you ain't never been married, ladies, don't nobody care what happened to your When you care about what happened to you walk down the sucker-ass aisle and do the suckiest you can ever think of. Agreed to give everything you got.
Well, either way, congratulations to Jonathan Majors and Megan Good. Congratulations to Nelly and Ashanti. That's been a long time coming. But what is Corey saying here? Because you always have to look a little deeper with Corey. You always have to kind of peel the layers back on what he's saying. You know, he's making his judgment here. This is somebody who was formerly married, you know, and recently divorced. And his viewpoint on marriage and it being basically just putting your stamp on the young lady and making sure nobody else gets a piece of her. I could say that is partially why a lot of men are probably doing it. Because I think a lot of people go into marriage for the wrong reasons, but there are the right reasons that are out there. Especially, I think in the Jonathan Majors case, having a woman that will support you when you're down, having a woman that will support you when you're going through your lowest point in life. Jonathan Majors lost a Marvel movie. He lost the Army deal. They put the Magazine Dreams movie on the shelf. And now Rising of the Phoenix is happening. There's a possibility he might get to play a version of Kang at some point, even though that was supposed to be his big hit and that was supposed to take him out of here. So now Megan has been with him in the period that he was at his lowest, and now she's about to experience some of the benefits of staying with a man through that. Now, you know, there's been some other stuff put out here, which it seemed like coordinated attacks, if I'm not mistaken. Along the release of Magazine Dreams, they released the audio of Jonathan Majors and his ex-girlfriend, in which they say he allegedly admitted that he had done some of the physical abuse.
I'm ashamed. I've never wrestled with a woman before. I mean, it's just, I've never aggressed with a woman. I aggressed you. Like,
you strangled me and pushed me against the car.
Yeah, all those things are under aggressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like, that's never happened to me. So I'm
because I said something sarcastically, if in your eyes.
Clearly it's more than that.
Yeah.
Clearly that.
Something inside of you.
Yeah, towards you.
After already getting off in trial and everything being adjudicated. Seems like conveniently around the time of release of his projects, certain things start to resurface, of course. Now, if he is guilty of it, he's dead wrong, obviously. But is there room for redemption for a man in this world? And, you know, you could already tell that relationship that he was in with the young lady, the young white lady, was toxic. The way she was running after him in the streets and everything else, everything about it was terrible. But it had a lot to do with where he was mentally in that time. And I think that's what I saw in the movie. I saw he was in a very raw place, a very, I don't know, even this self-destructive place when he was making that movie Magazine Dreams. And that happened probably about 3 years ago. So is there ever a place where Jonathan Majors is able to get through clean and be done with all this stuff? Or is this always a stain on his legacy because he was in this toxic relationship and really just really not serving himself? It's no telling. As far as Ashanti and Nelly, I think what their story represents is that, you know, they had one time around back in the 2000s where they were in a relationship and they broke up for whatever reasons, but later in life they realized that was the person for them and that they might have, you know, Nelly was a big time rapper at the time. I'm sure he didn't want to be tied down. Ashanti also had a very demanding career. Probably thought there was something else out there for her. And when it came down to it, now late in life, in their 40s, I think Ashanti's in her 40s for sure. Didn't have a child. Nelly became the father of her child, and they live happily ever after. That should be a beaming light on what is happening right now in the game. How many women do we know that are in Ashanti's position right now? In their 40s, they've been through some great relationships. They've been through some bad relationships. But in hindsight, things that they thought were terrible probably weren't as bad as they thought they were. And there's probably a chance for redemption. You know, all these women out here with multiple children from multiple fathers, none of those guys were good enough. They were good enough to give you a child, but they weren't good enough to actually be in a long-term relationship with, for whatever character flaws they might have had, that just goes to show you that, you know, you really should start considering some of these people that you've interacted with in your past. I think the problem goes into now, so many people are just thinking that their level is so high that there's nobody in their life there's nobody in their life that can measure up to what they expect for themselves, what level they expect for themselves. So then the main thing for them to do is just wait it out and see if they can find somebody that checks all the boxes. But ladies, I'm just here to tell you, nobody's going to check all the boxes. There's compromise in each one of these stories for all parties involved. You know what I mean? And so I think if we can learn anything from this, you know, Jonathan Majors was looking for his Coretta, but he was looking in the wrong place. You know what I mean? He had to actually get a Coretta. And so Megan Good stepped up and is in that role. So like I said, shout out to both of the couples, beautiful couples. I hope that you all will have successful relationships and be the examples for the community going forward. Anyway, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all uploads. If you want to watch more, please watch one of these videos down below. Make sure you sign up for Faucette Media Direct. That is my streaming service. Got all types of content there. The link is in the description. This is Faucette Media.